today I want to talk about who do we think is the number one driver at Ferrari. Is it Charles Leclerc or is it Lewis Hamilton?
I think it will be Lewis Hamilton over the course of the season. I thought there's always these defining moments in the season, and I thought the whole Chinese Grand Prix where Hamilton finished slightly in front might just be that little edge and that little, starting to put his authority on. However, I wonder in previous years when it was Vettel and Leclerc, they never used to favour anyone, a bit like McLaren. So I wonder if they'll try and do that throughout the season.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they will probably have to do that for now because I think they probably both see themselves as the number one driver. And Ferrari have obviously put, it must be 10, probably 20 years into Charles Leclerc right now. He is meant to be the Ferrari saviour and he has beaten every single one of his teammates. So, and I do think that he will always have the edge on qualifying over Lewis.
Yeah, I think he's a great qualifier. And I wonder with these new regs how it's going to be a bit more difficult. I think he qualifies so well, but I don't think he necessarily converts it that well.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Lewis probably doesn't qualify quite as well. He's out-qualified by Bottas a lot of the time throughout his career with Mercedes. And I think maybe that'll be the difference of these new regs. I'll be honest, I think Leclerc crashes a bit too much.
Do you know what? If we were having this chat like a few years ago, I would have agreed with you. Like, I feel like Charles always used to bottle it. He'd just like the brain would stop working, when he crashed in at Baku and goes, I am stupid. That's very Charles Leclerc. But he's not doing that as much anymore.
But has he been under the same amount of pressure?
No.
In 2022.
He had a good car then, didn't he? Like they really could have won, yeah.
And he didn't. Do you think he'd do it now if he was in an
they're not going to win
car?
this year, right? Do we think? Do we think they're going to develop the car enough to be fighting with Mercedes at the front?
I think it's a long season. I think you could see a lot of stuff turn around this year because usually these teams clock on to whatever technical regulations, they usually catch up. Yeah, I think it's a long season. I just think Charles, when he's under pressure that year, was it Max Verstappen won it a couple of years ago and they were they had the quickest car and there was just a few situations where he just couldn't quite handle the pressure.
Yeah, and actually I think there was a few times as well with Carlos Sainz where when he was under pressure, Carlos did come out on top. I think just the determination, which I think probably Lewis Hamilton has as well. Yeah. Like, I feel like my head is saying Charles Leclerc should beat Lewis Hamilton. I feel like my heart is saying Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, I think he'll qualify better. I think he will. You're right. He will qualify better. I do also think that probably the best thing for Charles Leclerc and Ferrari is to have a clean break at the end of the year.
Oh, 100%. Charles needs to go. Like, Ferrari is Ferrarying and he's never going to win a world championship there. Although, actually, hot take, I don't know if he would ever win a world championship regardless of the car.
Maybe. I think he's good. Again, like we talked about, he's good in a very quick car if he's got a top car. But then he's had that in 2023, like we said, or 2022, whenever it was. So I'm not sure.
I think he's in that like second tier of drivers. Do you know what I mean? Like he is really good. He's really quick, amazing at qualifying. But I just don't know if he's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the end of this year, we'll see a big switch around of drivers. I think this will be the year where, you've had it a few years where you might see Piastri move to Ferrari or you might see somebody else because all these drivers have been waiting for these new regulations and it's turned out that Mercedes got the quickest car. And all the top drivers, especially the older ones like your Lewises and your Alonsos, they haven't got any time to waste. They need to be in that quickest car. So if they can force a move through to one of the quicker boys, I think they will. And I think the same's happening with Charles Leclerc. He's getting a bit older. He's been at Ferrari for a while.
Where does he go?
I don't know if he can go anywhere. I also don't know. I don't know if he would ever want to. I feel like Charles' problem over the last little while has been like he's been too loyal. Like he's not thought enough actually. Like, when you had him against Carlos and stuff, and like Carlos would always call out the strategy and be like, that's not right, or like I'm going to overtake him, or I'm going to go race, and would ignore the team usually correctly. Whereas Charles, like we've seen him on camera a million times saying, like, what happened? Why did you do that? Like, why didn't I push? Like, he hasn't done that. I don't know if he has that side that you need for racing and to be like a proper champion. Quick one, if you're enjoying the episode, we'd really appreciate it if you could hit subscribe. We are trying to get to 500 followers and it only takes 2 seconds.
Back to the episode. What you're saying is he isn't a bastard.
No, he's not.
You need to be a bit of a bastard to win
Yeah.
multiple world championships.
Yeah, I think you do.
Max, bastard.
Yeah.
Lewis, angry bastard. Michael Schumacher,
Why angry?
very, very angry bastard. Do you know what I mean? They're angry, they're good, they're nasty, they'll push, they'll sell their nan up the river to win a world championship. And Charles is a bit nice, and I think Lando's a bit nice. But you want to be that horrible, I don't give a shit, Sebastian Vettel, multi-21. We're supposed to stay behind each other. Now, see you later, Marco.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? I think the good world champions are bastards. That's my hot
But
take.
then how did we get Lando as world champion?
Because he had the
year?
quickest car.
But what about Oscar? Because Oscar, for me, I think has more of that streak that you're talking about.
Yeah.
He does.
He does, but he hasn't got the experience that Lando had losing a world championship the year before.
That's true. That's
so
true.
I think Norris has got a bit harder. He was too, he'd lose a race. And I really remember Austria a couple of years ago when Max absolutely fucked him off a track. And he's just like, oh, well, we're friends. And Max is just like, yeah, see you later. He's fucking gone. See you later. Whereas he's like, oh yeah, we like to play games with each other on the PlayStation and this. And
do you not think he's just being really sarcastic, self-deprecating, are you reading these comments or are you watching and listening?
I'm watching.
Because tone is obviously so important.
He was much different last year. I thought Lando was a much more serious, much more there's a world championship to win.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately that's why he came out winning. I think. But the multiple world championships have got to be a bit selfish. Champions have to be selfish.
I think Lando got lucky that Piastri went off the boil.
Yeah, I mean,
had a few mechanical things and then lost his head.
Yeah.
I mean, for most of it, Piastri had the one over him, didn't he? I mean, when Norris crashed chasing Piastri, I thought that was it. I thought that's
a bit Charles
Norris
Leclerc to me.
Yeah.
I feel like they're kind of the same. They're gonna go and they'll have a really good run, and then they're just gonna bin it in the wall for no reason, or go off into the grass for no reason.
Which Leclerc likes to do when he's under pressure. When there's someone in his mirrors, when he's being chased by Max or Lewis or something, he freaks out.
It's people like Alonso. I don't know if you remember. I mean, it was years and years ago when Alonso and Lewis were racing the same team at McLaren. They went in for a pit stop. Alonso got released from his pit window.
And he didn't move. Yeah.
And that's his teammate because he goes, that's it. I'm winning this race. I'm winning this championship. And that's
this is why we love Alonso.
That's the sort of mentality you need. You need to kind of push someone under. And I think the McLaren boys are a bit nice. Probably nice for McLaren because they had the best car, blah, blah, blah. But I think sometimes in these tight championships, like you're saying with Charles and Lewis, you're going to have to decide at one point.
When do we think that point's going to come then? Because obviously with McLaren, if we're comparing it to them, they let them race all the way to the end.
And they almost
Papaya rules. Are we going to get... I don't know, but Ferrari rules.
But they almost lost a championship, didn't they?
Yeah.
How many points was he off? 2?
Yeah, something like that.
Whereas if they would have put a line underneath it early and just said, right, this is it, number 1, number 2, that's it.
Do you think they're going to do that? I think that's my question because Ferrari is so Ferrari. They're so Italian. And I say this as an Italian, all love for Ferrari, they are my team. But anyone who's been to Italy, lived in Italy, worked in Italy, you know how Italian bureaucracy, red tape, stuff doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Is Lewis going to be able to whip them into shape properly enough? He doesn't even have a full-time team race engineer yet.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow,
it's someone who's still temporary, I think.
I thought this new one was his new guy, or is it just a change? I don't know that for a fact, but I thought that was the change. He certainly got rid of his old one, didn't he?
Yeah, got rid of the old one. Actually, do you know what rumour I saw the other day? Because they've got rid of the Audi team principal and it's now Mattia Binotto who's there. Apparently he wants to bring the person who used to be the head of strategy at Ferrari to be the team principal at Audi.
Interesting.
Okay.
Use same engines? Yeah, only what they used to, don't anymore.
I mean, do we not think that's going to be an absolute shit show? Ferrari's strategy has got significantly better, even if it's still bad, since that guy got canned.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Ferrari, you haven't won a world championship since 2008, I think that if push comes to shove and Leclerc is 30 points ahead of Hamilton, I think they go, yeah. But I think while they're fighting for third and fourth, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that there's no number one. But I think when push comes to, you look at Schumacher and Barrichello, you look at, all these things, all these drivers where they had, it doesn't matter when you're not winning. It's when you're, Mercedes might have to make this decision.
Yeah, do you know what's fucked about Mercedes is like they obviously want to give it to Kimi, but I feel like it needs to be George.
I mean, George would naturally say he's a team leader, but we saw what happened with Piastri last year. Like, there's something about Kimi where he's going to win a lot of races this year.
Kimi's quick, but he's not developed enough, I don't think. Also, I think George has that thing that we've just been talking about. I think he's got that streak. I think that he will do the mind games and like make sure that he wins.
Racecraft.
He's clever.
Yeah. Racecraft, yeah.
You've seen him like coming up behind Lando and stuff in interviews in the media pen, like saying shit in his ear. Like he will do the mind games so well.
The other thing is, I think it's a psychological thing. Kimi's just come into the sport. He's got a world championship winning car, which I believe at the moment, if we look at it.
Yep.
George has never had this opportunity. He's going to do everything he can to win that world championship this year.
Yeah, he knows it's
him.
now or never, and he's
could be
fucking hustling. He's been grinding since he first delivered his PowerPoint to Claire Williams.
I was really surprised. I don't dislike George Russell, but a lot of people don't seem to like him.
Loads of people don't like him.
I don't know why.
I think he's just a bit of a dweeb.
Is he? Oh, maybe I'm too old to.
Are you seeing yourself in him?
No, I don't know. I don't know about that, but I just don't. I don't see the big hate for George Russell. I think he's a bit flat, but he's not as boring as Piastri.
I really enjoy him because I think he brings so much like petty drama and like so like I just find him so funny and so entertaining. I really enjoy George.
I liked when he had a go at Max. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like, and I think he will. I think he will bring the fight to people. Like, I think that he will challenge whoever. Well, can anyone even bring a challenge to him? I don't know. But I actually think the racing would be good. I think he is world championship material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big, again, going back to the big drivers, the big names, the multiple world champions, they will have a crash. If you're not going to let me by, or if you're going to try and cut me up, we'll have a crash. And that was Hamilton and Verstappen.
Yeah.
You've seen it going far, far back with Alain Prost and Senna. Mm-hmm. You've had it with the likes of Damon Hill and Schumacher. They will have a crash. And I think the big champions go, do you know what? I'm not going to budge anymore for you. And I think there was a little bit of when George had a bit of a nibble at Verstappen. I think if that happens, he's not going to move and they'll just have the accident.
Oh, for sure. Those two hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see that. I want the development to be good enough that we're getting that kind of close racing. Because at the moment it is a bit, Merc up here, Ferrari here, and then sort of everyone else a bit further behind.
Yeah. That will close in. I think new regs, it's always a little bit, when Braun had the double diffuser, it was like, bam, like you're miles ahead.
Yeah.
Halfway through the season, Jenson Button and Barrichello didn't win anything and then everything come back. So it's always exciting the first year.
Yeah.
And I think it's always exciting as well for a new team as well. I quite like the idea of a new team, even though they're hopeless at the moment.
Yeah, I enjoy having more cars on the grid. I just wish that they had got some more interesting drivers, dare I say it? Yeah. Like bring some new people in. I don't know. I just think Bottas and Perez are just kind of boring.
They're a safe pair of hands. They're not going to stick it in the wall. They can probably teach them a little bit over the course of the season because they've both been at the top teams. It's understandable. I mean, can you remember when Haas first started and they had like Mazepin was I know that was a bit later on, but do you know what I mean? You have Mazepin and Schumacher and at the team at the back, you just don't need to be having all that expense. I know that was 5 years after they started.
No, I agree.
Do you see what I mean?
I completely understand it.
Yeah.
I understand the decision making. I just wish that they'd done something more fun for me as a fan, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. American
bring some
driver
spice, bring some fire. Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
Boring people to trundle around at the back, especially, I will say, Perez loves to come through from behind. If they had a good car, would be up for seeing that kind of racing. I think Perez's racing is what Ocon thinks his racing is.
Maybe, yeah.
But Bottas is hopeless at overtaking.
Yeah, he qualifies well, so maybe they got the best of both. I don't know. He usually qualifies well. I agree with you. It's just a bit of it's a very safe bet. I see why they do it, but it would have been nice to for me, American team to bring an American driver.
Yeah.
And Colton Herta, so I don't know if you know about this too much. Colton Herta races in IndyCar.
Yes.
They've brought him across to F2.
Yep.
And what their aim is for him to win F2 and then stick him in a seat for whoever's not doing it next year.
Yeah.
But I don't think IndyCar is that quick, although I love it.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Wasn't there another American? Oh, have we been going for that long?
Yeah, we have been going for that long.
In that case, who do you think the number one driver at Ferrari is? Is it Charles Leclerc or is it Lewis Hamilton? Let us know in the comments below and make sure to hit subscribe. We'll see you next time.